Hi, I'm Nick Smith, and I'm here to talk to you today about the physics of basketball. The game of basketball was invented in 1891 by Dr. James Naismith. It was started in a small gym at the YMCA in Springfield, Massachusetts, where only 18 players were in the original part of the game. Now it is enjoyed by over 300 million people today. I've always loved the game of basketball, and I've played the game since I was about 5 years old. So I've grown up playing the sport my entire life. So when I decided to look at the physics behind my favorite sport, it was pretty interesting to me to learn how everything works, from dribbling a basketball to shooting a basketball, and even how everything such as your speed and your momentum affects your shot. One of the major fundamental skills in basketball is dribbling the ball, and physics plays a huge part in this as well. Obviously, common sense tells us that a ball with more air in it bounces higher than a ball with less air in it. This is because the more air pressure a ball has inside of it, the less its surface area will bend or deform during a bounce, and the more its original energy will be stored in the compressed air inside. Air stores and returns more energy than the material that the ball is made from. Another way to look at this is to think in terms of potential and kinetic energy. When the ball is held above the ground, the ball has potential energy. Upon its release to the floor, the potential energy converts to kinetic energy. Another big fundamental concept in basketball is the pass. Now, if you're standing about 5 feet away from somebody and they whip a ball at you, you're obviously not going to catch it because of the amount of force that that person threw the ball at you with. However, using the equation force is equal to mass times velocity over time, we can see that if you increase the time it takes for the ball to get to you, the amount of force that you're going to catch the ball with is decreased significantly. So in order to catch the perfect pass, you want to increase the time it takes for the ball to get to you. That way, you're not catching the ball at its full original force that it was throwing you at, but rather you're catching it at a nice, soft, comfortable force. Now, the shot is arguably the most important fundamental concept in basketball, and physics once again comes back up with this, specifically velocity vectors. When you shoot a ball, you release it at a certain angle to the horizontal and with a certain force in the horizontal and the vertical direction. So using these, you can find your total velocity vector, or if you had the total velocity vector, you can break it up into its horizontal and vertical components like we've been doing all year. Now, what you can do with this is that you can use UAM equations to figure out how high the ball is going to go, maybe how far vertically or horizontally the ball is going to go, if the ball will travel far enough to make the basket, how fast the ball is going, how long the ball will stay in the air. Any of those things you can answer by using the UAM equations, and specifically using vectors. The layup is another shot in basketball that players use when they're running towards the basket at high speeds and they can't get off a normal shot. This shot is different from regular shots because it is more based on momentum than it is on velocity vectors. The velocity of the ball is the sum of the shooter's speed and the ball's speed. So in this case, the ball doesn't need as much force and is basically dropped into the basket. You've seen this a ton of times when you watch a basketball game. The ball just seemingly kind of drops into the basket without much force. Also, contrary to popular belief, air resistance really doesn't have a profound effect on when you shoot a basketball. The air resistance is so small and the velocities of the ball are so small that it's really negligible. What does have an impact though is the spin. And spin has an impact when the ball hits the rim, because when that happens, it creates a backspin in the ball opposite to its velocity when it was coming in. When this happens, the backspin allows the ball to move backwards and have a better chance of going into the basket. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.